I think we have Joycelyn, right?
Let me try.
Yes, I sent the invite to. I sent an invite to Bernard, as well as Joycelyn. So I'm not too sure if they are joining. Bernard is coming in. Okay, anybody else? Hi, Bernard. Hello. Nice to meet you. Cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very soft. Now I can hear you, but very soft. Yeah. Do we have anybody else? I think we are waiting for Joycelyn, or do we not have to wait?
I think we just continue without her because she got something to deal with.
Sure, no problem. Could you all give me a little bit more feedback also? I mean, since now probably this year would be the last meeting that we're gonna have, for talking about branding and talking about how to push out the products better. Could you all give me some feedback on how's the traction, for incoming students, the recognition also for New Zealand brands? How is it coming along? You think? Because the borders have already opened.
Because
Yeah.
I until now I still haven't met any student that are asking about New Zealand.
Okay. Okay. What about the other two colleagues? Do you have any feedback to share? Like, for example, something for us to also understand the market better. And then we are able to actually find out on the needs and the wants and the expectations as well on how we can manage the market.
I actually had that open just now. Okay. Let's squeeze it to this.
I cannot hear you all. All of you are muted. You guys are still muted. And I don't know why. Okay, anyways, it's fine. Good afternoon once more. Thank you very much for taking the time to come join me for probably we would be this particular meeting would be the last final intake run that we're gonna have, and also for recognition of the product, etc. Now, as you all know already, right, that New Zealand borders have already opened since August, and then things are very exciting, and also we are anticipating actually a lot more interest coming in for certain programs. I think especially popular right now would be the international diploma, and that will allow the students to jump into directly into year two of their bachelor's, or otherwise actually would be the pre-masters DPP program. Uh, these two are specifically from Waikato. And then we also have, of course, the very highly ranked, as per usual, Taylor's College Auckland, as well as University of Auckland. Now, you already know my face and name. So on the screen, you are able to also take down my contact number, and then you'll be able to actually just drop me a WhatsApp. Sometimes it's much more easier to just PM me, and I'm able to actually just work on a case for you immediately. Okay, but in the event if let's say you guys were to go ahead and set up a group chat, right? I may miss the message also because it takes a lot of scrolling. But if you want, please go ahead and create the group chat. I'm happy to join in as well. Okay, otherwise my email address is on the screen, and you are more than welcome to just drop me an email. All right, so this session, like what I've mentioned, is recorded, and then I'm happy to also share this recording with Joycelyn and the rest of the team members later lah. How many officers do you all have actually in total? So we have one in Johor, then what about the rest? KL? I cannot hear. I think Ling Shen's mic
Actually,
is.
yes, can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we have only two offices. One is in KL and no, not KL. One is in Kluang and one is in JB. But currently, we are expanding our operation to Indonesia. We'll start to operate next month. Yeah, and then also for Korea,
Congrats.
yeah, Korea also yeah in a short time, yeah.
I see. I see. Oh, wow. Its overseas expansion is really good. Congratulations once more. So would the Indonesia office also be coming on actually on board to set up an account with us? Or is there already a sales manager that is looking after that particular account? Or everything else actually right now is still underway?
Still underway, but
Can,
going to be yeah
can,
next
no
month.
problem. So the office over there would focus on ENZ brands or otherwise actually just all brands all year round?
I think the same as yeah in
Same as
JB,
what you guys
same as
are
yeah
doing
yeah.
lah. Can, no problem. Okay, let me quickly begin by sharing about the University of Waikato College. I think some of you may be aware, some of you may not be, but nevertheless, like I said, I think for the rest of this year, our last final intake is going to happen very, very soon in November. But however, we are still accepting applications coming in for Waikato because the borders have just been opened in August only. So we want to cater and reach out also to as many students as possible. Simply because I think a lot of people do think that New Zealand has been asleep lah for the past 2.5 years, right? So now that the borders have opened, then a lot of people are actually being very curious about what kind of program offerings we offer. And there are also certain things that have already changed in terms of, when it comes to visa requirements, when it comes to job employments, any jobs that you're able to find under the green list. So that part is also crucial. And also, if you have already, which I know you have, been promoting for Australia, right? Then I'm also here to refresh with you guys and do a side-by-side comparison on what kind of differences we have when it comes to GTE and also compliance. Now, for Australia, I'm sure you are aware also that you have to be AU compliance satisfied, right? And there is also multiple layers of the GTE satisfaction and requirements to fulfill. But for New Zealand itself, it's really rather straightforward. So, but however, there are also different steps coming back actually for students' application progress. Okay, you all can still hear me, right? Because actually all of you are muted. I cannot, I cannot hear you all. And then sometimes the mic takes a bit longer to. Can right? Just give me a thumbs up because I can see you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So for University of Waikato College, it's actually the same entity as the university itself. Both of it is actually seated under one umbrella. So often you're going to find like other brands out there, like UK centers or even like Australia. Students will have to travel quite a significant distance actually from the university to the college, right? But for Waikato itself, it's relatively smaller, but however, we are doing really big things. So earlier on, I was sharing with you in terms of what kind of programs we have to offer. Let me just refresh with you on what this study destination is really all about. Now, tell me, have you all been traveling already? Have not? Or no, haven't? Still start with work. Tell your boss, quickly travel. Okay, yeah, but New Zealand itself, right? The borders have opened already in August. So the country itself, as usual, you would know. Um, I think if we were to take Singapore as a benchmark to compare with New Zealand, right? New Zealand itself is really second to none. In terms of safety, is top number two, globally recognized. And when it comes to poverty wise, when it comes to hunger wise, etc., it's all absolutely zero. High employment rates and lots of job opportunities over there. Now, New Zealand itself, right, the culture and also the work-life balance is consistently very, very strong. Culture itself is fully diversified. Plenty of international students are already going back on shore to study, and also we cater blended learning style as well. So in the event there is an intake that is about to start, and you have a student actually that is still stuck with the application of visa, please get the student not to worry, okay? The student can easily kickstart the classes online while waiting for the visa to be approved. Now, a lot of people actually tends to forget this, or whenever we hear a study destination like New Zealand, we often think that, oh, it's very atas, it's overly high class, and it's very expensive. Now, New Zealand itself, yes, very classy, very safe, high employment rates. However, I need to do a side-by-side comparison. If you are already selling Australia, and then now you have one particular product, which is New Zealand, you come to find that actually the living cost in New Zealand, right, is much, much more affordable. What we require is only on an annual basis, 20,000 New Zealand dollars a year. And that is the minimum. So students also, the best part about studying in New Zealand is this. They will get an opportunity to go ahead and apply for a 3 years PSW. Okay. All right. So a couple of key selling points actually that I've already summarized for you. And let me just go into a little bit more details. I want to take you away to let you know what we have been doing actually during COVID times when the country has been closed to the outsiders of the world. Now, we have already become the third largest city in New Zealand itself. And then New Zealand government, right, has already built up a major freight and logistics hub. So with COVID, you and I, we are facing a lot of same real situations, inflation, rising costs, and on a global scale, people are actually, not being able to find jobs. Now in New Zealand itself, right, when it comes to certain sectors or industries, you'll find also that certain industries, thanks to COVID, have already been booming and very well developed, especially when it comes to supply chain, especially when it comes to e-commerce, anything that has to do online, digital marketing, for example, and most importantly, logistics. So we already have and established a major logistics hub right in the heart of the city of Hamilton. So having said that, right, there will be no lack of employment opportunities once your student graduate. So this is one very good selling point already for you guys to go and share with your students. Now, about safety wise, I really don't have to say anymore. If visiting New Zealand is in one of your plans, right, please do so because it's very clean and the weather is simply fantastic. And in terms of happiness, top 10 within the entire world. Okay, so QS 5-star university rankings. All right, so now other than high rankings, right, I also want to share with you what we have to offer when it comes to undergraduate and also many of our postgraduate programs. Because these two, whatever pathways that you were to choose, right, it comes with internships and also placement opportunities as well. So students will definitely get the opportunity to study and also work at the same time. And I also need to emphasize once more, living costs in Hamilton City, where Waikato is less expensive, even if you were to compare it with the neighboring city in New Zealand, which is Auckland. Okay. Now, some snapshots for you to take a look at our students' day-to-day life in New Zealand. So essentially, it's just a very modernized green campus. And on top of that, the day-to-day life activities is really very relaxed. Pacing itself, I have to agree, is rather chill. So unlike Singapore, unlike Malaysia, or even Hong Kong, right, New Zealand itself is actually just taking a step back when it comes to maintaining very good work-life balance. So it doesn't have to be very intensive or pressurizing always. So if you do have students that prefer such a lifestyle, a little bit more easygoing, a little bit more chill, then yes, New Zealand would be the way to go. Now on the screen right now, you're able to see also some of our program offerings and also 2023 new school fees. And that is why now is a final call for any of the students who are interested to secure 2022 school fees, right? And then now would be the correct time to quickly submit the application forms. Now, we have international diploma in business, for example, that is priced at 27,300 New Zealand dollars. So after the scholarship of $5,000 is given, for example, then it is just an affordable amount of 22,200 New Zealand dollars only. So for all pathways, right, already at the back of your head, you are able to do a quick product comparison, and you'll come to realize that all the pathway programs given out by Waikato, right, is much more affordable. So the entire school fees altogether, right, is really very economical. So high rankings amongst the top as per usual, and I want to walk you through what we have. So we have business and management studies that is very popular because our Waikato Business School is ranked as top 1%. So it is a Triple Crown accredited status. Now we have accounting and finance as well, computer science, which is up and coming. Why? Because everybody needs computer science skills, and many, many more. Now, QS World Rankings, right? We have been achieving and also performing consistently 5-star ratings. And again, for Waikato Business Management School, it is a Triple Crown accredited. Only top 1% business schools around the world can achieve these, yeah? All right. So I'm going to share with you also in terms of our very first fundamental programs. Now, this particular program is a very straightforward one. This is what we call CAFS program, Certificate of Attainment in Foundation Studies. Now, this program is the only one. Later on, right, we'll have a very quick Q&A session. So CAFS program, right, is something that you want to remember because Malaysia students also will tend to ask for CAFS program. Now, this is based on what I've observed so far. And if this is currently trending within your site, right, let me know as well. Now, for CAFS program, it offers your students 3 points of entry across the year. So very flexible. And it is the only program that we have on the table today that will give your students multiple, long list of bachelor degree options for your students to choose from. So it's only segregated very straightforwardly into 2 levels. We either have the accelerated level or otherwise the standard level. So in total, if you have students who are going for accelerated, right, it's only a 5 months course option. If you have a student that is going for standard level, excuse me, it's between 8 to 9 months only. So entry requirements for Malaysia students, very quickly, it is at least SPM, minimum 4 passes at grade C. Otherwise, we would be expecting UEC, grade C7 minimally in 4 subjects. Forecasted results are all accepted as well, yeah? So we are also looking at SPM total score of 20 in 4 best academic subjects. This one is for accelerated. Otherwise, we will be expecting minimum 4 passes in academic subjects or STPM passes in 2 academic subjects. Okay, if I'm going too fast, not to worry. This recording, right, will be sent to all of you after this, and I'll consolidate the entry requirements as well, including the PowerPoint presentation deck. Thumbs up. Thank you. All right. So earlier on, I mentioned also CAFS program, right, is the only one that we have, right, to go and give out so many different kind of bachelor choices. And you can see easily already on the screen. Every single one of them is very relatable to whatever that is trending out there within the employment market, such as we have engineering and we even have law, which some of the students actually are very aware already. They are taking law actually to compare with other study centers who offers law as well. Now we have business, which is a generic one, but within a Triple Crown accredited status school. And we, of course, have the as per usual Bachelor of Arts. Yeah. Okay, so program summary very quickly for you. So students, right, will have to expect that there are 3 intakes happening a year. So we have March, July, and also for November. So the school fees for accelerated level this year, we are looking at 11,780 New Zealand dollars only. Now for standard level, right, we are looking at 23,560 New Zealand dollars. But in 2023, there will just be a slight increase. So anything for accelerated, we are looking at 12,000 something, and also for standard level would be 24,000 something. Okay? Excuse me. Now, not sure if any of you are aware or you probably may have heard of this, but other than us being a leading business school, we also have what we call a very special program, which is International Diploma in Business. So remembering right at the beginning of this call, what I've introduced also is 2 major programs that have already been starting to catch students' attention out there. So this is one of them. This program, International Diploma in Business, right? It is the only program that will allow your students to jump directly into year 2 of their bachelor degree. So this program, I believe, is very suitable for your market, and also students, right, will get once in a lifetime opportunity for this milestone to jump directly into year 2. So they basically just attend 1 whole year of the pathway and then go directly year 2 of the bachelor's. Entry requirements that we are looking at least would be SPM total score of 20 in 4 best academic subjects. Again, forecasted results will be accepted. Otherwise, right, we are looking at UEC, minimum 4 passes in academic subjects, or STPM passes in 2 academic subjects. Okay, so students actually who are going for this, right, they will be able to choose either accounting, digital business, or human resource management, supply chain management, which is the trending one right now, as well as marketing, so on and so forth. So earlier on, we were talking about CAFS program, which is the only program that will give your students a long list of bachelor degrees to choose from. Now, International Diploma in Business, shorter list of bachelor degrees to choose from. However, each one of them is very relatable to whatever that is trending out there for employment. So if you have students who wants to take this route, please do let us know because our final intake will close very soon. Excuse me, program summary. So you can see the differences, 2022 fees as well as 2023, just a slight increase as well. Now, International Diploma in Business is going to offer only 2 intakes coming a year. Now, either in March or in November. So in total, right, it's just a very simple 12 months, 3 trimester course, easily completed. And school fees will be at 27,300 for this year and upcoming November intake. However, in 2023, right, we are expecting slight increase up to 28,864 New Zealand dollars. Excuse me. Now, within the next few slides, I want to share with you very quickly about International Diploma in Computer Science program. And have you already heard this before or haven't? No, haven't. But so far, do you guys have you guys come across, students asking about computer science, anything at all? Your boss will definitely ask you for data, isn't it? And also statistics, what's the latest numbers, etc. Computer science. Any one of you graduated from computer science? No. Okay. What is the degree that you guys have graduated from? What was your choice?
Marketing and management.
Nice. What about yourself?
Mine is public administration.
Okay. Okay. Brandy?
Business admin.
I see. I see. Okay. It's all rather generic, but it's also good. I think during my time, I think all of you are younger, way younger than me. But during my time, right, what is important is there can never be my generation is people actually tends to go for very generic kind of degree so that they can cast a wider safety net for employment opportunities in future. So I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but yeah. Anyway, back to this. Thank you for sharing with me. Our International Diploma in Computer Science, right? You must be wondering also, is it the same as International Diploma in Business? Yes. If you are wondering already, as absolutely yes. Okay, easily completed just within 12 months, 3 trimester course. Students can jump directly year 2 also of their degree. Now, this program, let me tell you, it's more exclusive. Why? Because you will realize a lot of big data companies out there, IT, information technology, right, AI, etc. They're looking for people with computer science skills. And this is one industry I am very confident it will never die off. Even banks are looking for them simply because you have already witnessed what are the impacts that COVID has incurred. So therefore, actually, computer science would be the way to go. Now, the entire program you can see over here is segregated into 3 trimesters with different components that students can go through, which is statistics, programming skills. We also have artificial intelligence, science overall structures, as well as basically website, consumer websites, and also in terms of how to build up a consumer's platform. Now, you may also ask me, or you may have students also asking you, why choose a career in computer science? Now, basically, what I've shared is one of the highly sought after job opportunity under the green list via New Zealand's immigration's website. Now, for those of you, right, who has been keeping an eye out on LinkedIn to find out about news and trending employment opportunities, or following actually the latest data technology statistics actually out there, you would come to realize also globally it has been announced that there will be at least 2.5 billion. It's again, I repeat, 2.5 billion job opportunities surrounding computer science within digital skills and tech sector that will be created by 2025. You know how much actually you can earn just to get a computer science career in New Zealand? On a per annum basis is at least minimally 120,000 New Zealand dollars. So this is something that is really good, and it's also some of the key SPs actually for you guys to share with your students if you do have students who ask. Now, it's a constant growing demand for digital skills in tech sector. All right. Okay, so let us move on. So students progressing into year 2 bachelor's, right, from international diploma in computer science. So these will be an even shorter list. Yes, I know. No, before you say, I say first, okay? These 3 degree options that students can choose from. It's a shorter list, lah. But at the very least, right, students will get to cover a wide range of core computer science topics, and this will come with data usage, web, mobile, as well as cybersecurity, networks, databases, even teaching them on how to create algorithms and the overall user experience. So it is a fast track definitely for students, right, going into this path to becoming a chartered information technology professional that is certified under the CITP NZ. So many of the students actually will come from Malaysia, right, to Singapore to work as accountant, right? And then now we have another booming opportunity actually for students to go over to New Zealand, right? To become a work integrated learning paper also in the 3rd year for them. And this option to complete and develop real world experience in becoming also this technology professional. So this is the chance that your students don't want to miss. Now, part of the QS World University rankings as well, computer science and information systems was recognized with us in New Zealand, right, amongst the best in the world. So at New Zealand itself, what you may have not known or you may have not visited before, but please do, we have one of the largest supercomputer and excellent cybersecurity as well as AI intelligence facilities. Entry requirements rise, it would be the same and as international diploma in business. So school fees, again, very exclusive, is also very affordable. It will be 30,320 New Zealand dollars thereabouts. And we have an upcoming intake in March 2023. So basically, you may have students also asking you, hey, Brenda, what is the difference? What is the difference between international diploma and foundation studies? Now, I tend to have students and even parents and, counselors like yourself asking me as well. So if I have a student that is going for international diploma, can he or she actually consider CAFS? What will be the downside or what will be the pros? Now, essentially, CAFS program, right, has got very flexible intakes. Remember, 3 points of entry during the entire year. Curriculum itself is very huge, very comprehensive, and it will offer your students a long list of electives as well as degree for your students to go into. Entry requirements for CAFS is also slightly lower if you were to be observing the slides just now. Now, in comparison, international diploma entry requirements definitely slightly higher. Is it a little bit more expensive? Yes, but it is the only programs either in business or computer science that allow students to jump straight into year 2 of their bachelor's program. Okay, so it's very easy to do a side-by-side product comparison really if it's broken down this way. Now, one last program that is very exciting. Let me tell you, this program, right, it has been creating a lot of waves. Okay, so for the curious ones, the program is meant for students who are already at tertiary level already. So the same level already as a graduate diploma, but unfortunately, they just fall short a little bit lah. So this is just a stepping stone to postgraduate studies. And this is what we call pre-master's DPP program. Now, this particular program, right, students will qualify for an entry into a number of postgraduate degrees once DPP, this pathway option, is completed. Now, here comes the million-dollar question. You may ask me also, Elizabeth, if let's say I have a student who's going for this particular program, can he or she already go and apply for a 3 years PSW? Let's take a guess.
So yeah, go with
What do you think? Are we able to? Would the government actually allow this? Yes, no. Yes or no? Don't know. Don't know. Well, you can just unmute yourselves and then just let me have the answer. What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Vincent, do you know? Bernard, do you know? Brandy, do you know?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, can. So students going into this particular pre-masters DPP, right? They can definitely, right after they complete the pathway, they don't have to wait to go into the bachelor's. They will be allowed to go and apply for a 3 years PSW. And the best part about this program, let me tell you, is 8 months only. So it's a very cost-effective program altogether. Now, once the students actually complete this 8 months course, right, they will be allowed to apply for a 3 years PSW simply because already when they are first day as a student in this pathway program, they are already having a level 7 NZQ level 7 qualification. Okay, so only in New Zealand, once a student is at level 7, then he or she can go ahead and apply for the 3 years PSW. Remember this. So previously, whatever I've shared, right, all those other programs, students will not be allowed to go and apply for 3 years PSW. Must remember, so CAFS program is only NZQ level 4. And then for international diploma, when the student graduate, is only at NZQ level 5. Only DPP program will allow your students to apply for 3 years PSW. Okay? All right. So 8 months program, like what I've mentioned, very exclusively, only 2 intakes happening a year. Last intake coming already and closing off very soon in November. So the intakes will always happen either in July or November. And school fees in 2022 this year, very, very affordable, 25,200 New Zealand dollars only. Now, 2023, slight increase, it will be 26,460,000. And the best part about this program is this. Now, earlier on, I've also shown you about CAFS program, what kind of degree options we have, right? An international diploma in computer science or otherwise in business, what kind of bachelor degree options we have, right? Now, the last final part of this would be the number of graduate degrees actually that you can choose from here. Now, on the screen right now, you are looking at supply chain management, information technology, business and management, etc., etc. The best part is this: all of these options that you're seeing on the screen, right? You take a look at the timeline. It's only about 12 months, perhaps longest, maybe 14 months. It's a very cost-effective program, and it comes with professional industry internship also. Now, all these industry internship, typically they are going to last for about 8 to 13 weeks only. And then they get the opportunity to be based in New Zealand itself, or otherwise it comes also with an opportunity to fly overseas for such internships. So the different kind of master's level, different programs will come with different level of internships. Okay, so they are not in unison. They are not like, it's a one size fits all kind of thing. So different kind of program will come with different type of internships and the duration. Okay. Now, there is one more, which is Masters of Nursing Practice. I did not put it on the screen right now. It's also because actually the marketing side is still working for a flyer or otherwise a brochure to roll out our Masters of Nursing Practice. So this particular option will be also our latest, going to be rolled out an option for students to choose from. If you have students, right, who are already completing their studies and they wish to be a certified nurse in New Zealand, which will also guarantee very solid employment as well as income, then yes, New Zealand would be the next best destination to become a nurse. Okay, it's a shortcut program and it's going to be very fast, only 2 years. All right, so On the chart right now, you are able to see how we have been meeting the needs of our NSEA students. Now, basically, the whole North Southeast Asia, this particular component, right, is already a growing part of New Zealand's diversified population. You are already aware. Now, tuition fees as well is less expensive. That is one of the huge and the biggest selling point for Waikato. Scholarships of up to 5,000 New Zealand dollars is available. And then basically, New Zealand, there is nowhere you are able to compare with this. This study destination will offer a high standard of living with a GDP of over 40,000 USD per capita every year. Okay, so some of the facts actually that is good to save you time on Googling, etc. But just good to know. At least at the back of your head, you have such knowledge, right, to share with your student. Now, in the city of Hamilton, I want to share with you accommodations very quickly. What I would recommend would be College Hall. College Hall itself, it allows also your students, right, to improve on the spoken English language ability even much more quicker. There will be 3 meals going a day, and it's a one-time payment of 15,450 New Zealand dollars. But the student gets to stay for 9 whole months. So right now, I want you to take a very quick, only 1 second, and you think about it. Australia accommodations, Auckland accommodations versus Waikato accommodations. You already know Waikato would then be the cheapest and much more affordable. Some of the big names and industries as well that I want to share with you today. We have PwC, we have ANZ, Deloitte, KPMG, etc. Most of our graduates have already been employed with them until today. Now, application process, I did promise you that I will walk you through. As per usual, we would require you guys to submit the applications via Asians Portal. That would be the fastest and the easiest way to keep track of documentation. And then what happens is once the student, right, submitted the application form, okay, we will use the first 2 days, all right, to issue out the preliminary assessment. So for example, if a student actually has a study gap, let's just say from July 2021 to today, we are definitely going to come back and ask what was the student doing actually between July 2021 to today. So the entire process, right, is very straightforward. So what happens is students will get an opportunity to go ahead and apply for approval in principle first, AIP. So if the student actually wants to go and obtain an approval in principle, then the student is welcome to, after obtaining it, come back and make the final decision to go ahead with securing the seat by making payment. The only thing I want to remind all of you today is this. Every single offer coming out from New Zealand, right, it will come with an expiry date. Okay? So this one we have to take note. Now, once the students accept the offer, they will then be able to go into my Waikato account portal to set up the username as well as the entire account on their own. They will still be required to retain this account throughout the entire course of their studies. Now, verification process is the one thing that New Zealand immigrations as well as the university cares about a lot. So anything wrong with each page of the documents, right, that is not properly certified, then it will delay and lengthen the entire admissions process. I've ever once had a case where the student actually ended up going back and forth together with the counselor back and forth, and it was a total of about, I think, 7 to 8 times. So this particular part, I really want to save you the hassle. So it's time actually to pay attention to this slide. Now, on every page, even academic transcripts, passport, etc., whatsoever, it simply means that the students must let you cite the original copies. And then on each page, you must include your title, the name of the company, your full name, the date, as well as your signature, and then finally this sentence, certified true copy. So on each page, you gotta have this, otherwise we will not be able to accept. I very scared y'all lose attention because there's so much information. All right, so borders have already opened. What happens next? Now, borders have already opened. Student visa definitely can be applied. So what we need is at least only first year tuition fees. That's the evidence. Okay, first year tuition fees, as well as 1 year of living expenses, which is 20,000 for 1 year. And then, of course, the medical and as well as travel insurance coverage lah. So this is all what we need and your students would need to go ahead and apply for visa. Okay? Okay. Now, if you happen to have a student that is above the age of 20 years old, I repeat, if you happen to have a student that is above the age of 20 years old, and he or she may or may not come with 2 years or more working experience, okay, what's going to happen? Now, in such scenario, we are not going to reject the student outright. What we do is we have to make sure that the student is aware that he or she may be eligible for a direct entry under the special admissions scheme. So in order not to lose the student, then you have to talk to the student and ask him or her to write us an undertaking letter. So inside the undertaking letter is very simple. Only 3 sentences would do. I, so and so, is aware that I may be eligible for a direct entry into University of Waikato, full stop. However, I would still prefer to go via the international diploma in business route. Thank you. So at the bottom, just the name, date, and signature. That's all. Okay, it's a very simplified format of the undertaking letter.
Yes.
Okay, now, quick 1 second. Any questions for me so far? No? No. Okay, very confident, huh? All right, what is the program actually? Can I just ask, what is the program that will allow your students to jump directly into year 2 of the bachelor degree?
International diploma.
In
What, sorry?
international diploma, that is absolutely correct. You have been paying attention. Thank you very much. International diploma in what? In what? International diploma in what? In business and computer science.
Business and computer science.
Yes. Thank you very much. Amazing. Thank you, Joey. Okay, so now let's quickly move on into Auckland. So Auckland itself, right? If you were to ask me a quick comparison, slightly more expensive, that's for sure, because this city itself is one of the biggest in New Zealand and is very well known and usually known to be the financial hub. All right. So Taylor's College Auckland itself, right, as per usual, is always very highly ranked, and it is the #1 ranked university within Auckland itself. And around the world, it is within top 100. So such rankings not easy to come by. You will already know what kind of achievements they have under their rapport and also under their portfolio. But is it difficult also to be promoting Taylor's College Auckland? Definitely not, because it is less complicated, less diversified than Waikato, because it's a very straightforward. There is only one program, Foundation Studies Certificate. So this particular program, I wanted to share with you. Before I do that, let me just introduce very quickly to you Dr. Miriam Pisat. Now, she is our academic director, heading and running the team on ground. She's very, very patient, and I can guarantee you, I can attest to the multiple sessions I've already sat in personally with her, as well as our students. Now, she's very dedicated, and you will find that your students will definitely be in good hands with her. All right, Dr. Miriam Pisan. Now, let us move on. In Auckland itself, same thing. If you were to do a quality life comparison, then I can also attest to it that there is no poverty. The entire country is very clean. Transportation is very convenient, zero hunger, etc. And there is clean water and sanitation. Now, what we also fully respect in New Zealand itself is they have a very rich culture to practice gender equality, as well as strong economic growth within the consistent industries. But Waikato is the only one that has the major logistics hub. Auckland itself is a financial hub. Okay? So you get big companies such as Google, Amazon, etc. that have already established companies over there. So helicopter view very quickly, University of Auckland, how it's going to look like. And it's truly majestic. This entire space, right, we are housing a total of 60 research centers and institutes spread across the entire university. So if you do ride a bicycle, and you're welcome actually to travel over there, pay us a visit, and then just get yourself on a bike and then just cycle from one place to another. Okay? Now, quick overview on what are the subject rankings we are famously known for around the world. Top 50, 12 subjects. Now, I also wanted to talk to you about our law as well as our music and dance program. Now, we are also very well known for this, and many people have already started comparing law with University of Sydney and how we do law. Now, University of Sydney, just to remind you that we have combined options. It is never a singular degree for law. So students will definitely have to combine with something and then come up actually holding on to two majors. But for Auckland, what we do is there is a singular degree for law. Okay? I think only Joey. The rest gone. Okay, anyways, let me just move on. If you were to be also asking, right, you not were to be, you definitely will ask me. So Elizabeth, if let's say we have a student who is going for Waikato, does that mean that he or she can apply for 3 years PSW and then Auckland cannot? No. Now, for Auckland, right, students who choose to still move on and flow up to University of Auckland, they will be eligible to apply for 3 years open post-study work visa. All right, so it will be the same. Now, Foundation Study Certificate Program, like I said, very straightforwardly, only one program, segregated under two different levels. So we have standard level, we also have intensive level. So here are the key dates for you to take note. So for standard, right, we have January, July, and August. And then for intensive, we have April and October. All right. So you may also ask me, hey Liz, what's the difference between standard or intensive? Now, what I can share with you is this. Both the standard or the intensive, right, not much difference at all. Of course, other than the intake dates and also the duration. But the best part is this. The school fees will be the same, regardless whether your student is going into standard or intensive. The school fees will be the same. All right, so we are looking at entry requirements. SPM or forecasted results will be accepted. Aggregated score of 20 or less across 5 academic subjects. Now, we are also looking at aggregated score of 15 or less across 5 academic subjects. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, here's the quick overview also on the subject components that your students will be studying. So the electives as well as subject offers will essentially be the same. Like I said, the only difference probably would be the duration and also how fast-paced it's going to be. Okay. Now, very similar to Waikato also, CAFS program. Our Foundation Study Certificate program, you can already see very comprehensively will offer your students a comprehensive list of bachelor degrees based on a 3 years or otherwise a 4-year degree journey. So we have Bachelor of Dance Studies, we have Fine Arts, Commerce, many more. Now, here's a very quick program summary for you on our Foundation Study Certificate program. Now, the school fees, right, will remain the same, 29,800 New Zealand dollars, regardless whether your students are going into standard or intensive. Okay, so same thing like Waikato, we will be conducting classes via the blended learning style. And if you have any, delays and visa applications, please do not worry. Students can definitely kickstart the intake online first while waiting for visa to be approved. Any questions so far? No? Yes? Yes, no? Bernard, I think disappeared. Oh no, he switched off the screen for a while. Lingshan and Maki. Oh yes, hi Maki. Thank you very much for joining. Do you want to switch on your camera so that I can put a name to the face? So nice to meet you today. Thank you for joining. Now, do you guys have any questions for me about Auckland so far? Or no? No? Yes? No answer? I cannot hear you all actually.
I think no question.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so very quickly, scholarships and bursaries is between 2,000 to 5,000 New Zealand dollars. And then if you have any qualifying student, feel free to just let me know. I'll see what I can do. Now, in the event, right, students cannot progress into University of Auckland, what's going to happen? Now, please do not worry. For our Taylor's College Auckland, right, students coming out from this foundation study certificate, they can use the certificate to apply to other universities within New Zealand as well. Now, accommodation for me, I'm going to recommend for Auckland is going to be very different from Waikato, okay? Now, accommodation in Auckland, I want to recommend homestay. So homestay wise, students will get to live in a private home as a paying guest, and the host is going to provide your student with all 3 meals, and he or she will get their own private bedroom. Okay, it's about 308 New Zealand dollars happening on a weekly basis. Now, the steps actually to go ahead to submit an application will be pretty much the same. It's just a gentle reminder. I want to encourage all of you to constantly check back against the agent's portal to download and use the marketing materials. So together with the marketing team, we have all worked very hard and we are coming up also with more collaterals and even video shoots as well as GIFs for you guys to post on social media as well as your website. Now, basically for Auckland, if your student is eligible for a full offer, then the university will be the ones sending students the copy of the full offer with very clear instructions on how to accept the offer. So if let's say I'm the student now, I receive a full offer from the university, all I have to do is just to log on to the student's portal, scroll all the way down, click twice. Once, accept terms and conditions, and finally accept the offer and just click submit. So this is what you and I are probably not going to have visibility on. So it's always good actually to check back to your student to let him or her know that the university may have already issued. So the standard workaround time, right? The timeline probably would be 2 working days for preliminary assessment to happen, followed by 5 working days for the full offer to be issued. Yes? Okay. Okay. Now, same thing. Borders have been open already. Auckland now students are applying for visa. What do we need? We need 1 year funds for payment of the first year tuition fees. 2, living expenses, 1 year as well. 20,000 is the same amount as Waikato. So 20,000 New Zealand dollars. All right. Of course, together with the medical and travel insurance coverage. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Okay, you guys are still nodding your head, so it's fine. Still here? Maki, any questions? No? No questions is good. Okay. All right. So I thank you guys very much for taking the time to join me for today's session. Can we take a good picture? Okay, let me stop sharing and then we can take a group picture. All right. Lishan, are you able to switch on your camera? Or no? Cannot hear you. I think your mic, something is wrong.
I think her laptop, the camera is not functioning.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. Okay, I will use Meipai, so not to worry. Everybody will look very good. Bernard, Brandy, you guys want to remove your mask? Or Joey, are you all allowed to remove your mask? Can ha? Aya, Bernard very shy lah. Long ago, she removed mine. All right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. Thank you so much. Okay, I wish you all a very good day. Please have a very good weekend ahead. Okay,
You.
thank you. Joey, can you do me a favor? Sorry, before you all go, right? Can one of you actually help me to just catch up with Jocelyn and then let her know that I will be reaching out to her?
Alright, sure.
Okay? Okay, can. Take good care. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.